Hello, podcast listeners. We know podcasts are a great way to catch up on a program that you may have missed on KSJE, and it's provided as a free service of this radio station. But you know, KSJE is now listener-supported, and so while you enjoy this podcast, we hope that you'll also take some time to join KSJE. Become a member today. It's quite easy to do. Just go to our website at ksje.com/support and pick the level of support that best matches your budget. Thanks again for listening. Here's your podcast. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, the 24th day of April, 2025. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE, 90.9 FM over the airwaves here in San Juan County, New Mexico. In Durango, Colorado, we broadcast at 103.3 FM. And if you're listening anywhere else on Earth, you've gone to our website to do that, ksje.com. I want to also welcome our viewers this morning who are joining us. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you are with us, because coming up in the next few moments, my guests from the San Juan County Partnership. We'll be talking with them about the L.E.A.D program. So stay tuned for that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE today. Then, of course, next hour, it's classical music with Mick Hess, Roving with the Arts. That comes your way after the news at 9:06 on KSJE. You can also connect with us on X and Instagram in addition to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're a podcast person, we invite you to subscribe to KSJE Podcasts. You'll find them where you're probably already listening to podcasts. So subscribe for free and discover a new local program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is currently a sunny Thursday morning, 47 degrees at the moment. We're expecting more sunshine today. High temperature 69 in Farmington this afternoon. Clear skies overnight with a low of 43. For Friday, partly sunny skies tomorrow with a high of 75. Sunshine and 76 by Saturday. Mostly sunny, cooling off to about 69 degrees again on Sunday with overnight lows in the mid to lower 40s. Back with my guests with more right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The caregivers of San Juan Regional Medical Center are committed to bettering the quality of life, health, and care of individuals, families, and our communities. Life is their sacred trust. Better is their mission. Here is their home. San Juan Regional Medical Center, improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910.
Ahead, turn right.
Isn't it nice to have a little help getting where you're going?
Your destination is ahead and 300 feet.
When navigating life's challenges, the San Juan County Navigation Center can help you with navigating housing, navigating transportation, navigating medical providers, and more. Learn more online at sjcnavigate.net or call 505-636-7110. The Navigation Center, connecting to resources, empowering lives.
You have arrived at your destination.
Joining me here in Studio A, as I mentioned, from the San Juan County Partnership, Jeannie Wright is here to join us. She is the program manager for the L.E.A.D program, the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion program. Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. Also, Paula Jackson is here. She is the case manager for the L.E.A.D program with the San Juan County Partnership. Paula, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for being here as well. And let's get started by talking about the L.E.A.D program. And Jeannie, let me start with you a little bit about what the program is. This is, as I mentioned, Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion. So explain that to us. What does that mean?
Yes, so Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion is a program in which we connect with law enforcement and community providers to connect a case manager with individuals who have frequent interaction with law enforcement because of substance use and mental health.
Got you. And so probably not a positive interaction with law enforcement.
Correct.
And so, but this diverts them, I guess, then from what? From jail? From prison? What is it? What does the diversion mean?
So our hope is to reduce the interactions.
Okay.
And so it does not necessarily mean that they won't get arrested or they won't go to jail.
I see.
But we're hoping to reduce that or prevent it.
Got it.
When possible.
Got
So
it.
if they do go through the court system, then we're there with them to
Right.
walk them through that process.
Right, got you. And so from their past, you can tell that they've had these interactions, and so that's how they get, I guess, maybe recommended to get into the program? Is that how that works?
Yes. So we get referrals from the mental health officers, both through the city of Farmington, city of Bloomfield, and the county.
Gotcha.
And so they're the ones that have firsthand experience with these individuals, and so they know who's high risk and who would benefit from a caseworker.
Got you. So they're coming to you with a referral already, and so you got to get an idea of why they've had these interactions with law enforcement and can work with that knowledge, I guess.
Yes, so they'll be able to give us a little bit of background
Right.
on them.
Makes sense. And so these interactions with law enforcement, what types are they just drug interactions, drug arrests, or is that kind of mostly what they come into contact with police for, or is it something different?
Quite a bit is drug involved.
Got it.
Sometimes it's their mental health that's causing them to be unstable.
I got you.
And so there might be, some disorderly conduct, minor like shoplifting, that kind of thing.
Those other
The lower
related
levels.
crimes, I guess, right? But less violent things, I suppose.
Correct.
Got it. And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been with L.E.A.D for about 2 years.
2 years now. Got it.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Let me turn to Paula Jackson and ask you a bit about the job that you do, Paula, as case manager. You are working with these individuals, I guess, that get referred to the L.E.A.D program.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've been with L.E.A.D for about 4 years.
Okay. And so again, as Jeannie was mentioning, these are the types of individuals that are referred. They're having these numerous interactions with law enforcement, and so the idea is to try to get into this program and then minimize or decrease those interactions going forward.
Yeah, as soon as we get somebody from the referral, then we do a baseline. We kind of ask questions about homelessness, drug use, their symptoms of if they have a mental illness, and then we kind of look at that and say, what can we do to help to reduce your behaviors? So what we're going to do is say if they do have a trespass or shoplifting or whatever, we're going to say, hey, do you want to go to some type of substance use rehab? Do you want to go see the doctor? Do you need to get your supports back from your family? We do all, we ask many, many questions and try to set up goals and see, where we can support the client to get where he feels that has less of these behaviors.
Right, got you. And that support, I guess, is really important, right, for these individuals to know that there are others like you that are helping them or can maybe connect them with resources to help them to break some of these patterns?
Yes. Usually they're interested due to the fact that we have experience and we can kind of tell them what we can do. And when we can tell them what we can do, that kind of motivates them to work with us.
Sure, got you. But are there things that you can't do, I suppose? I know each case is different, right? But I imagine there are a lot of things that you can do, but maybe there are some things that maybe you're not able to do for these individuals in some cases?
We try to look at it as can do.
I got you.
try
I
not
understand.
to ever say can't do.
Right. And that's an important distinction, I guess, right?
Yeah.
To hear that positive message rather than what we can't do for the clients.
We can transport them, we can go to the doctor with them, we can teach them about their medications, we can go to pretrial with them. A lot of what we do is education and support. So if they go to pretrial, I go with them, explain to what they need to do, explain their conditions of release.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the folks we work with do competency through the district court. So we go to court with them, we explain to them what the judge is saying, we explain how the court works, we give them a ride, we support them. Medication management. We'll even educate their family, their support system.
Got it. Makes sense. And I would think, and again, each case is different, but about how long are you involved with these individuals? I guess it depends on what they're seeing you about or what they're charged with or things like that. But is there a length of time that you normally spend with each of the clients? Is there an average that you would say?
Well, when we first started L.E.A.D, the motto was with L.E.A.D, always on L.E.A.D. So our main goal is to, get them through the court system, and then we want to decrease how many times we see them. Sometimes we may not see somebody for a month, but maybe only once, the next month.
Mm-hmm.
So at first we're going to see them a lot, and then as time goes on and they feel like they're getting better, then we see them less and less. But we're still always there as a support system.
Right, and I guess that's my point, that once the court case is maybe adjudicated, you're not done necessarily. You might see them less often, but you're still keeping tabs and seeing how things are going, and there's some contact even after that court process?
Yes, we're going to continue, and our main goal is housing, stable housing.
Right.
So we continue through that, and we do case management with their landlord, we do case management with their family. So it's not all about just the court system, it's just the quality of life. If they need housing, we get them housing. If they need to get back with their girlfriend, we help them get back with their family or their girlfriend, or however that may work.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Jeannie, I want to come back to you and ask you a little bit about what Paula was talking about and working with these individuals. And the LEAD program, it's not just unique to San Juan County, is it? There are other LEAD programs in other communities across the country?
Correct.
Okay.
So within New Mexico, I believe there's 4 different LEAD programs, and it is throughout the country. And so it's evidence-based.
Right.
And it's been proven to decrease law enforcement, which then decreases the burden on the community.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It saves, I guess, time and resources and all those different things, I guess, if we can kind of break those patterns of behavior or what have you. And as Paula was saying, get folks into maybe some stable housing and some stable relationships and things along that line. So that's kind of what's been proven over and again.
Yes. And the special thing about LEAD is it's grant-based. And so oftentimes when things are funded by insurance or Medicaid, there are those time frames that they will only be covered. We work with people as long as they need us to, until their goals are met. And so that's something specific about our intensive. We also can work with them as many days as, need be. There's no limits of like once a week. If they need us every day, we're there.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, each person is different, so it just depends. You can't just say we're only going to see you once a week, because person B may come in and need you to see them every day.
Correct.
And so that's nice that you have that flexibility. And so that's an important thing to determine as well. How big is your staff?
So currently it's,
Am I looking at it?
this is it.
Okay.
We have Anna Krutsky. She's our
Sure.
clinical
Okay.
supervisor.
Right.
So anytime we have clinical questions, she's there for supervision for us. We also have an epidemiologist, and so we collect data through our program that we're able to share with the agencies. We are hoping to grow.
Good.
We're looking at a couple grants now to hopefully get a couple more caseworkers, because we definitely have the workload for it.
Right.
And so, but right now it's us.
Okay, got you. And as far as law enforcement goes, do you work with all law enforcement agencies in the area? Is there some you work with more than others, depending on just the caseload, I guess, or the referrals?
So San Juan County Sheriff's Department and City of Farmington are the big ones. We also have connections with the City of Bloomfield.
Got you.
As well. So pretty much the whole county is covered, because most of Aztec is covered by the Sheriff's Office as well.
Too.
So.
Okay, got it. And so again, most of these clients are coming from law enforcement. They are referred to you, right? Folks can't self-refer, so they're coming to you from law enforcement interactions.
Correct.
As you mentioned today.
Yes. So we do have some that, like Adult Protective Services, sometimes they will refer it, but we still they will let us know, and then we can staff it with law enforcement to see, but it has to come from a law enforcement officer, the referral as of right now.
Gotcha.
But we do connect with a lot of community providers.
Right. And you mentioned the savings and the economic benefits and other social benefits too, by having people in this program and kind of decreasing their negative interactions with law enforcement. And so then again, that's proven with statistics and data. And when you are looking at some of those numbers, I guess they add up pretty quickly, I would think, right? It's a pretty substantial budgetary savings, isn't it?
Correct, because it is cheaper to hire a couple caseworkers to work with these people than the frequent, every time they're incarcerated, that costs the community money. Every time they have to go to the hospital, it costs the community money. And so where we are at, when they're just in jail for a night and right out, it doesn't really solve the problem, so it's costing the community money, but it's not solving the problem.
Right.
Versus spending money on a case manager that's dealing with the deeper issues and actually addressing the needs and helping them going forward.
Right. And is there some data that shows maybe the repeat offender status, I guess, if they go through the LEAD program? Are they less apt to fall back into those patterns and things like that, or is there some data about that?
That's the hope, is that we're, right now we're looking at how often are they having interactions at the beginning of working with L.E.A.D and after. Some we've seen substantial decreases.
Right.
Once their basic needs are met and they have housing and they're stable on medication, we do see that they are not involved in the legal system as often.
Right, very different, and that's an important distinction. And Paula, let me come back to you and ask about that. When folks are working with you and you're working with them and getting them through the court process and things like that, and they're in a more stable situation, have you seen some pretty life-changing turnarounds, I guess, for some of these individuals that you work with?
Yes. We have people, I do also their Social Security, so I will work with them on their Social Security, and if it takes 6 months or a year or whichever, sometimes they'll get like a back pay, and I have people, buy little mobile RVs and cars and stay on their medication, and so we've had a few exit interviews, but we continue to save, and if that person's stable and then they're home and they call for a question, we still continue to do that. But I would say 10% of the people that we have now we have about 35 active people with 90 referrals. About 10% of those I don't see over a 3-month period.
Gotcha. They are doing well, and so you don't have to see them, I guess,
Right.
is the point, right?
Right.
So that's great. Very good. And I guess, again, the idea being that once some of these immediate needs are met or long-term needs are met, then the rest of their lives kind of get a little less crazy, and they can concentrate maybe on their sobriety and things along those other things that we want them to be able to do. Is that kind of how it usually happens?
Yes, that is the main goal, is for them to go on and improve their quality of life and not go back to jail, stay compliant with we do also their medical, if they need medical or dental or glasses or whatever is needed, we want to just continue that where those needs are being met, where they feel a lot better about themselves, so then the drug use kind of decreases.
Right, which is great. And so it sounds like to me, though, there is a bigger demand for working with the L.E.A.D program than you've got resources. Is that kind of where things are
Yes.
at the moment, right?
Yes. Right now, total we've received about 90 referrals. Like Paula was saying, we have about 35 current.
So you could double in size and still
Definitely.
work with the folks that need it.
Yes.
I guess.
So we're hoping with additional funding we get this.
Okay.
An additional caseworker or two. Because, like we've said, it is intensive caseworker and intensive case management. And
Right.
so it would be great to have a lower caseload so that you can provide those services for the clients.
Right. And I guess, again, there's that kind of, you can't just keep having Paula do all these extra cases, right? Because she needs to work on the existing ones as well.
Yes, but she does.
And that's amazing. That's wonderful.
Yes, and we don't turn anybody away. And so we work hard to make sure that the people that we have get the resources they need.
Okay, good to know. And I wanted to ask you too a little bit, Jeannie, about families maybe of these individuals. I mean, is there something that maybe a family can do that maybe there's not enough law enforcement interactions to get them to the L.E.A.D program, but is there something that a family can maybe do to get them some help, or either whether through your program or maybe of another program in the area? I mean, how does that work sometimes with families who are concerned with their loved ones and trying to figure out how to get them to break that cycle?
We do have some families that will call us
Will they
or
reach
come
out?
by, and we can answer some pretty basic questions about resources and how they can get help. But if the families are always welcome to work with the law enforcement and get them on our program, because we involve the families a lot. Those are the natural supports that are going to be in the clients'
Right.
lives much longer. And so a lot of it is educating them on, symptoms. If it's schizophrenia, like, these are the symptoms you should see. You're not alone. There are other people like you. And just educating them not only on the client's resources, but also support for the family as well. Because oftentimes if we support the family, then they can continue to support the individual.
Right. Very good. True. And Paula, let me ask you, families, how they must be really important for the work that you do too, to be able to rely on them a little bit with some of the things that you're working with the clients on.
Yeah, family is very important because, like she said, we need to educate whoever their natural support is. And I have talked to many mothers, many girlfriends, wives, and we just want to keep a good rapport with them and make sure that we make them feel comfortable with somebody with this living with schizophrenia or mental illness.
Right. And I guess are sometimes the family members or the girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever the case may be, are they sometimes a little worried about what's happening to their loved one or how they're going to get out of this, or if they can turn it around, things like that? Is that something that they come to you with, those concerns?
Yes. It's, as a parent, sometimes they want to say, oh, they're on their medication, now it's over and done. So we educate them on this is this is a lifetime, but this is how we decrease those behaviors. Some families will not want their children around when they're 18 because they're not educated on the mental illness. So we still, they'll say, what do I do with my child? And I say, educate yourself. And the more you learn about it, then that you stop the stigma. And if we can stop the stigma, then it's a lot easier for the family to accept their child.
Got it. And talk to me a bit about that, because are you saying that maybe in some cases that families are kind of disowning or coming to almost that step of disowning their children because they're suffering from these mental illnesses that they don't quite understand and don't know how to deal with their kids until they talk to you or get educated?
Yeah, because usually the behaviors, say if a young person lives at home and they turn 18 and the behaviors, the family can't handle it, then, what are they going to do? They're going to tell them you can't live here.
Right.
Well, then where are they going to go? They're going to go out onto the street and then they're going to get in trouble. They don't have any money coming in. They have no housing. So.
And that's where the law enforcement interactions come in, I guess,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And
so it's a vicious cycle, and we wanted to stop that cycle, but unfortunately it doesn't really happen until the person is about 18 years old and the family can say you no longer can live here.
Right.
So, that's what we want to stop. We want to say, hey, educate yourself. There is wonderful medication out there that helps with these disabilities, and people get jobs and they get Social Security and they have relationships. But as a parent, and you see this behavior, it scares you and you don't know what to do.
Right.
And so that's why we're saying, and we use a lot of peer support. So we use folks that have been through the program and are doing well, and that way we can say, hey, look at this person. They did it and it can be done.
That's a great tool, I think, too, to have folks hearing the same message from folks who have gone through it, and it's not someone else who's trying to explain to them what they should be doing. It's someone that's actually walk the walk, talk the talk, and all of that. So that's got to be important, too. And I guess, as you mentioned, when someone gets to be 18, if a family's had difficulties or just frustrations, and they say, you know what, you're 18, you're old enough, you're not our problem anymore, even though they're families, but they're just at that point, I guess,
Right.
and don't know enough about the illness that's going on. So that's part of this as well. On the other side of that, I wanted to ask you too, is it sometimes that maybe these individuals are getting negative influences from friends or family? Does that also come into play sometimes if they don't break some of those friendships, that maybe they get drawn back into that behavior, that substance abuse and things like that? Is that something that sometimes needs to happen for these folks?
I think that happens to everyone.
Yep.
So, we do want to say, hey, we don't want you to go back there. That's why we really work on housing so that people have their own place to go.
Right.
And they don't have to go back to like a negative family or negative friends, that are continuing the probably substance use. So yes, that is correct. We want to make them independent.
Right.
Or teach them to be independent, not make them. And work on that independence and self-esteem to say no to others
Right.
that are not a positive influence in their life.
Gotcha. And I know, again, from talking to folks like the two of you, that, if someone is addicted or in the throes of addiction, it takes a long time to get that way, and it maybe takes a long time to get out of that addiction as well. It's not an overnight type of healing or situation, right? You're in it for the long haul, it sounds like, and so are they. They need to be.
Well, we like to, we want to promote new coping skills. And so that's constantly what we do, you know, reiterate coping skills, new coping skills. What can we do if this? What can we do if that? What are, you know, educating the client on, you know, the drugs and what they do to them, and, you know, reminding them, guess what? When you did this, you ended up in jail. When you did this, you ended up with a job.
Right, right. Smart. And that's probably helpful to have them recognize some of that and that positive reinforcement.
Yes.
When they're making the right choices, I guess, is the part of that. So, and Jeannie Wright, I want to ask you the same kind of thing about these influences from maybe family and friends that could be both positive or negative, I guess, too, right? If family and friends are indulging and drinking and doing drugs and things like that, and there's someone who's got an addiction, that can be really difficult to stay sober when you're surrounded by behavior like that.
Yeah,
For anyone.
There's a lot of generational trauma and generational addiction. And so oftentimes these people, that's all they've known. And so educating them that there can be a different way to handle your stressors. There can be a healthy support system. And that takes time, because all that they know is what they've been raised in. And some of that is helping the families as well. So if the family needs support or the family needs treatment, you know, we can always say, hey, this is a good place to go to get help.
Right.
And so that we're fixing that family unit sometimes. But yeah, we're teaching them completely new skills to what they've maybe been raised in.
Right. And that's, again, takes a long time to maybe break some of those patterns, especially if it's generational. I mean, that's quite a lot of stuff to break and move on from.
Yes, and it does take time, and that we often start with just their very basic needs.
Right.
Some of these individuals are homeless with no food and they're cold. We have to address those basic needs first, and then, hey, let's get you on some medication, or let's get you into treatment. So we address the substance use, and then build on the support system, maybe get income. And so all of that is step by step. It doesn't always happen all at once.
Right.
And that's why we take them as long as they need to be in the program, because
Sure.
it takes time to make that change, especially housing. We don't have a lot of housing options. And if they're on the housing assistance list, that takes time. And they need help with all that, filling out
Right.
applications. A lot of these people maybe don't know how to read, don't know where to go to turn in the application, don't have the transportation to get there. And so we're just there
Right.
every step of the way.
Nice. Well, that's important. And maybe they don't have the documents they need to even start the process. We hear that a lot too. Sometimes things that are just second nature to many of us, for these individuals, it's just maybe very difficult, and there are roadblocks, I guess, that they need help with. Which
Yes.
is where you come into the picture, I guess.
More likely than not, they don't
Yeah.
have any documents. So we help them get Social Security card, birth certificates, their ID. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
That can open the doors for other benefits, I guess, and help, again, as you mentioned, to kind of meet those immediate needs that they have. And so I guess the bottom line is, once they come through the LEAD program and they graduate, if you will, and are stable and have their needs met, and the hope is that they become contributing members of society, I guess. They get jobs and they can pay their way and things like that. Is that kind of the ultimate goal?
The ultimate goal is they have a high quality of life. Some of them are never going to have jobs. But if they don't have jobs, they at least have Social Security, so they have stable income. But those that are able to work, that's
Right.
great. But a lot of them
I
end
see.
up on Social Security. Just so they do have a stable income to then provide for their housing and
They can
just
support
living life,
themselves,
yeah.
I guess, and not fall
Correct.
back into the drug world, I guess, right? And interact with police, which is the whole point.
Yeah, we
No.
want them to have a high quality of life
Gotcha.
overall, a support system and income stability.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Very good. And so for folks that are listening to us this morning and watching us, if they had questions, can they just reach out to the LEAD program or reach out to the San Juan County Partnership just to get questions if they've got maybe someone in their family they feel might be at risk of getting into a lot of interactions with law enforcement?
Yes, they are always welcome to call San Juan County Partnership, and we're there with the LEAD program, and
Okay.
we can answer any questions.
Very good. Or stop by the office, I guess, there on 20th Street.
Yes, on 20th Street, right next to Durango Joe's.
There you go. Perfect. Very good. Well, we are just about out of time, so I want to thank you both for coming in and talking with me about the work that you both do, and thank you for the work that you both do, because I know there's a lot of individuals that probably have their lives changed for the better because of the L.E.A.D program. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome. My guest this morning from the San Juan County Partnership here on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hello, my name is Latoya, and I'm here coming to you with the study tips of the week. Occasionally, college professors will tell you the information that will or won't be on an exam. Listen to them. They're sharing this information with you to save you time so you're not studying the wrong information for hours, and you can focus on the important points. If you're unsure about what to focus on while studying, send your professor a quick email to confirm or speak with him or her after class.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE. Did you enjoy that podcast? We hope that you did. And if you did, share it with your friends. And if you really want to keep podcasts like this coming, please support KSJE. You can do it easily online at ksje.com.